This is Kelly with the Women's Business Network, and we are here this morning in Linda Brubaker's home, and we're going to ask her some of our questions. These are mostly business related or come from the business community from Women's Business Network. So Linda, I'd like you to tell us just a little bit about you, and why do you want to run for a seat on the council and for mayor?
Well, my name is Linda, of course. I'm a write-in candidate. I've been married 45 years. We have 2 beautiful children, 3 wonderful grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. We've been blessed as a family. I love my town. I've been here full-time 15 years, off and on my whole life out in Oak Grove. My family owns a place there. I want to be as a mayor, I want to be the mayor so that I can give back. I'm a firm believer in giving back. I think our town's direction is not the direction that I want it to go in. I don't want our taxes raised again. I don't think we're business friendly, and so many other things.
Okay, so based on what you know about Colonial Beach for living here the last, you said 15 years, right?
Uh-huh.
What do you see as the top priorities for the town and why?
Well, I think we don't have a tax problem, even though I mentioned taxes. I think we have a spending problem. I think we overspend our budget limits. I think our sewer and water system needs to be addressed. I think our sidewalks need to be addressed. Our boardwalk needs to be addressed. And there's just a lot of things. I wasn't in favor of the new trash cans. I think that we need to communicate more. I think we need to be transparent and have a little more integrity.
So understanding some of these challenges, as you mentioned, we've got some challenges with infrastructure, the boardwalk and beaches, sidewalk, sewer, and water. With your experience, how do you see these being improved, or do you think we need to eliminate some of these issues?
I don't see how we can eliminate the sewer and water or our spending immediately, but we can certainly cut back. I'll give you an example of out of control spending. Demolishing the Blue Motel probably wasn't a bad idea. It became an eyesore. But when I FOIA'd the request to see what the Blue Motel area was going to become, I was told there's no plans for it. And then I find out we're working on a multi-million-dollar town hall. So those are the kind of things that aren't going to change overnight. Well, I think our budget process needs to be refined. I think our public works people need to have more training. Our town hall people need to have training. I think we need to support our police and fire department more.
So with the growth of our downtown and achieving our Main Street certification is something that the Economic Development Committee has been working for. Women's Business Network is very much behind. Our business has grown in our little downtown, and it's been looked at extending maybe on Colonial Avenue and Washington. Do you believe that we are healthy and successful, or do you think we are not maybe so much, and that we need to find some solutions to change that?
Well, I believe a little bit of both. I think in some aspects we're healthy. Hawthorne has certainly been 100% improved.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some wonderful additions there, but I think there is room for improvement. Our Christmas tour is wonderful. You've done a lot with your hotel. How do you call it, a motel?
Inn,
Okay. You've done a lot with the rejuvenation of that place. I love it. But I think that there's room for improvement.
Okay. What do you think is more important? This is not a trick question,
Okay.
but building more homes, creating more businesses and commercial space, what is your view there?
I think absolutely creating more business and commercial space. That's going to be what brings our town up to the level that those of us that live here want and need. I am not for building homes on these 2,500 square foot lots, although eventually we do need some workforce housing. I understand that. But immediately, I think our commercial enterprises need to be developed.
I like your comment on the smaller lots, because I will say that's been a pretty big discussion in our economic development group on how we can help to leverage and to balance that. So are you leaning maybe a little bit more to some options there, or do you think we need to kind of focus more just in our business space right now?
As far as I'm concerned, there are no options for building homes on the 25-foot square lots. You'll be looking in my bedroom window, and I'll be looking in yours, and I don't think that's appropriate. But I am firmly committed to commercial growth and economic development.
It's been perceived that we have some parking issues. We have parking issues for residents, their businesses, visitors. It's at a minimum. Do you have a solution to that, or do you see that it's maybe not as big of an issue as it's been made out to be?
I think it's a terrible issue.
Okay.
I think our businesses suffer. I know some businesses have a couple spots. I know some people in our administration have preferred parking in front of their businesses, and I don't know about you, Kelly. I've never paid attention, but I think every business should have a certain amount of parking. How do you go to a restaurant, say Sunflower, and run in there and have a nice meal and pay $25 to park or $20 to park? I don't have the answer today. I might not have it tomorrow, but I will promise that I will come up with a solution that will be equitable and not just equitable to certain people. Our residential streets are crowded. The Airbnbs are out of control. Some of them don't even have 2 parking spots, and they're 5 bedrooms. I mean, those kind of issues are very important. So I don't think it's something that shouldn't be addressed. The parking in this town is horrendous.
So I will share with you, I do have a parking lot as
Okay.
a business. And I will say I also have some on-street parking next to the inn, which at this time is not a paid parking area.
Okay, good.
Due to the requirements that have been agreed to between what the planning commission has given to the town council and what town council has done, there are requirements. Because of the limited space, the economic development committee did look at possible some shared parking spots.
Okay.
I would encourage you to look, because in my view, and from what I have understood and listening to some of our other women business owners and people here in our community, I'm not sure it's a parking issue, but I think there are some parking challenges.
Absolutely, Kelly. That's a good way to pose it. I know my daughter and son-in-law have a business on Colonial, and they share a parking lot with camp, the tattoo shop, and the barber shop there.
So Linda, if you could change one zoning code, and I know there are many, and you don't, not to put you on the spot, but if you think about one zoning code that really might come to mind, what would that be, and why would you want to change that, or how would you want to address it?
Immediately, I'd like to change the I don't even know what to call it. What is it called?
Use?
The multi-use
Permits?
deal. And I'd like to change the deal with the Airbnbs. I think these Airbnbs put our hotels, inns at risk. We have so many of them. I would like to, but basically the multi-use,
I think it's R1 and
R1 and R2.
RC. I get them backwards. I
Right.
think they're CR and RC or
Right.
something like that.
But that would be my first choice,
Okay.
to work on that. And like I said before, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm not going to go into my first meeting and say, well, this. It's going to take a lot of absorbing information from people like yourself, the other council people, and the town staff. I mean, I don't want to reinvent the wheel on everything, but some things need to be addressed immediately.
It has been perceived that we are not always business friendly. The processes and costs are not consistent, that there has been a lack of support. Do you have a plan to streamline the new business process or minimize any of those costs?
Well, I'm not able to speak about the cost at this moment, but I am able to agree with you that we are not business friendly. I know what my family went through to get the variances changed. I don't know if you remember Bill Flammer when he tried that Kelsey's Kitchen, or Rick Davis when he tried that Kelsey's Kitchen, and he had such a hard time getting permits. That was years ago. But I think if we educate our zoning and whatever the new person's title is, community development, I think we will progress in that area. It needs a lot of work. But then again, I don't want to go into a new term being totally negative. I'm sure there are some things that are right. And like I said, I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but I have to be educated. And since our town administration right now is not transparent, I have a heck of a time getting any information.
Yeah. I know there has been some people expressed kind of two sides to this. We've had business owners that are here currently that have wanted to expand and have met some pretty significant challenges, and then we've also had people coming into the town with some new business. And I encourage everyone, I do this annually, look at my processes and look to see if there's something that we need to adjust or streamline. And I know city government is a lot different than owning a business because you have a little bit more flexibility. But I agree that reviewing your processes does help you in the end.
Will be very important.
As you know, this year the food and lodging taxes were increased, which is not a guaranteed or stable annual amount. That changes every year. Increases to taxes, sewer, and water and businesses are a really touchy subject because we have a lot of business owners that are also residents here in town. If elected, what are 3 steps that you would take to put our community and our town government on a financial footing?
Wow. 3 steps. Well, first of all, I do away with the trash can toters. I'm sorry, we've spent a lot of money on them. Our trash cans, for example, here in our condo, had the bars. They could have been used. The only thing they didn't have was Colonial Beach on them. So that's been increased already. It started at 30, now it's 33. And I think it was just a way to make money to cover other expenses, hidden expenses, if you will. To get our budget in line, it's transparency and communication. I think we need to partner with the town council, the planning commission. It doesn't have to be like this. I think we ought to listen. We need to get a CIP, capital improvement plan, passed. I know it's been put on hold till after the election, so certain council people that are on the council now don't have to vote on it right now. And I appreciate that. That's politics. But that CIP, the FA, the FAR, all of that is very important. And I don't know how, to be honest, I don't know how I'm going to get it in line immediately. But I will do my best to show my integrity and my honesty.
How do you plan to involve residents or businesses' input into your decision-making process?
Well, at town council meetings, there's always the chance to speak up, but a lot of people are intimidated because you'll even get boos from the audience. I myself am not. I think town hall meetings wouldn't be a bad idea. Would they be well attended? I hope so. Are our council meetings well attended? Not really, unless there's a real important issue. Town hall meetings, and I don't know if surveys like that monkey survey or whatever that thing is true to form. But I think a town hall setting might be good. Let everybody be honest and come with serious questions, not superfluous stuff, but serious concerns.
Are you open to going to the coffee shop and listening to people, maybe attending some of the business meetings, maybe participating in one-on-ones? Is that something that you're open to?
I'm doing it now. I have breakfast at Lenny's almost every morning with the group. I have been at the coffee shop. course I'm open to attend. If you called me today and said, can you be here, here, I do my very best.
Okay.
I'm open to one-on-one, I'm open to a group, I'm open to attend any meeting in our town if invited.
I think you touched on an important part, though. A lot of times people feel intimidated in a public setting.
Exactly.
And I think being able to have that open door policy, like I always, you have some managers that always say I have an open door. Sometimes that works, sometimes not so much. But I think creating that atmosphere of wanting to hear what people have to say goes a long ways. And I think it also helps educate your viewpoint as you make a decision, because this really is a small community.
Absolutely, and it's just like I told my opponent. I said, Robin, we're both going to have to live in this town when this election's over.
Yeah.
Let's not make it personal. And she agreed. So I think I will I don't have an office. The mayor doesn't need an office.
Right.
But I don't work outside the home. So I will have time. If people want to meet with me, I will make time. And for anybody.
That's good to hear. So we're at our very last question, and I love this
Thank
one.
goodness.
This always kind of puts everyone on the spot, but it's a great question. What is your most favorite thing about Colonial Beach, and why?
Diversity is my favorite thing. We all have different opinions. We all have different economic backgrounds. We all come from different professions, and we're all at different stages of our life.
Yeah.
So therefore, diversity is my favorite thing.
It's a really interesting comment. You hear a lot of times about family, about friends, about they just happen to end up here at some point in their
Right.
life, and I don't think I had quite put together diversity, but I think you hit that one on the head there, Linda, because it is.
We're so diverse.
We are, and in a small community, but that's what really brings us together.
Well, and of course my family and my friends are very important, but I love all of our characters, all of them. And we have a few.
Yes, we do.
Well, thank you, Kelly, for taking your time.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
We are very glad to be here, and I appreciate all of your answers and taking the time to sit with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Redskins win.
We're still